All right, I picked up the lumber that I need for the blocking of the subfloor, and when I originally calculated it out, I calculated out at 43 feet. So 6 8-footers is 48 feet, and then I got to thinking, well, you know what? If I don't end on the right line when I'm measuring these out, I'm going to need an extra board just in case. So I picked up 7 of them, about $18 a piece, just for the blocking. So I got everything measured yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the saw. I'm going to cut everything, get it all ready to go. And then I had planned originally to go on a fishing trip. We went last Saturday. A group of viewers from the channel have a boat, and they wanted to take me out dip net fishing. And from the boat, and we had engine troubles when we got out there. So we turned around, did the safe thing, and came back. And we had rescheduled for this weekend, but we're not going to be able to make it. So Bert came down with a bug and just thought it better that he didn't infect everybody else, which I appreciate that very much. I just got over one myself a couple of weeks ago. So I probably will not get any dip netting done. What I'd like to do, though, is Sunday maybe grab my rod and reel and head on down to the river and do a few flips, see if I can't catch myself a sockeye. So that's canceled, the fishing trip. We're going to get together and go do a trip later on this year. We just won't be sockeye fishing. So that trip's not happening, so this weekend I got a lot of time to get a lot done. And hopefully I'm going to get a couple of videos out of this. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the saw, but first I got to unload some groceries I picked up from the store. I got a New York steak sitting there in the refrigerator that I thawed out last night. Picked up some fresh strawberries, some whipped cream. I'm going to have a wonderful dinner. It's going to be awesome. So I'm not going to work too late tonight. I would like to get everything cut and ready to go for tomorrow, though. So get on that, and then we'll get busy working with the saw. Alcohol abuse. The other thing I'm going to do is pull my truck down towards the front of the driveway because lately folks have taken to stop by and say hi. And I don't mind that, but when I'm in the middle of recording video or in the middle of trying to set something up to record for you guys and somebody comes by, two things happen. Number one, I have to stop everything I'm doing recording-wise. And number two, I lose the momentum that I had for that day. And especially on a day like today where I worked this morning, I need all the momentum I can get. So I think what I'm going to do is pull the truck down towards the front. And then they can't drive up on the driveway while I'm working. That won't stop Ward, though. He'll just honk his horn. Honk his horn and tell me to hurry up and get my truck out of the way so he can come up. Still no 2x6s at the orange store. I figure I need about 100 of them for the framing. And I'll give them a couple of more days. I don't really need it, like I said, right now, but I'll give them a couple of more days, and if they don't get them in, I'm going to have to call a different company. Thinking about it. Oh, there is fuel in here. Cool. So I've got a viewer, obviously. Few of them, right? Because you guys are one on the channel that's just been devouring the content lately, and he's asking a million questions, and it's just awesome because I love whenever anybody asks me a question, because if I have an answer, I give it to you. If I don't, I could just tell you 9 times out of 10, well, I just thought that was the best way to do it. But This viewer is from Russia, and has had a ton of great questions. In the beginning, it was really tough. If you leave a comment and it's not in English, I have to go try and translate it in Google, and a lot of times it gets so frustrating that I just can't translate it. So as long as I know there's nothing negative or bad in it or weird in it, I'll give it a thumbs up and let it show. But his name's Dimitri, and Dimitri wanted to know why, for example, when I was cutting the steel for the sonotubes, I didn't just fire up the generator and use a grinder to cut it off, as opposed to cutting them all by hand. And I get a lot of questions about the generator and why I don't use it as much as possible. And I told them, well, there's 3 reasons. Reason number 1 is I love hearing the birds, the chickens, you know, the wind through the trees while I'm working. I love that feeling. Number 2, I don't have a whole bunch of tools that actually require me to use the generator. But most importantly, number 3, when that generator's fired up, it is really hard to edit the audio, my voice, over it. And as you could probably see from a video that I did where I first built the first section of subfloor for this place, the generator was on for quite a bit of that, and it was kind of tough. So I'm going to show you exactly how loud it is with the generator on and this saw going right now, and you'll know why I don't like using them at the same time I'm recording stuff. Loud right now. I've got the mic pointed towards me and it at the same time, and that will fire up the saw. That should give you a good idea why I don't like to run the power at the same time I'm running the tools. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off for now. Maybe I'll do a time lapse as I'm chopping up all these boards and getting them all ready to go. But that was for you, Dimitri. Thank you for watching the videos, and thank you for leaving the comments, dude. You've got a ton of great questions, and your English is awesome. It's fantastic. Your English is better than my Russian. So I need to, I'm gonna have to measure these individually, because I got a bit of a variance about half the way down from 14 3/8 to 14 1/2, which is only 1/4 of an inch, but that makes a big difference when I'm cutting these pieces to fit. And then this one is 13 and looks like 5/8. So I'm just going to write them right here. 13 and 5/8, 14 1/2. 14 1/2, 14 1/2, 14 1/2, 14 3/8. Jeez, this one's off by a bit. This is 14 5/8. This is 14 3/8. And the last one is the first one, and that will be 13 3/4. I hope that's not going to cause me problems down the road. 16 inches. 16 inches on center here. 16 here. 16 here. 16 here. 16. 16, 16, 16, and 16 to the end. So I don't know why there's a little bit of a variance in there, but there is. So I'm going to need to cut each one of these individually. I'll make a list of what I need for the first one. I'll get it cut and probably pound in at least one nail on each one and get them set. And then I'll make a list for the second side and see if I have that variance over there as well and get those cut. But yeah, moving right along. Typical fashion, right? These are all cut and ready to go. 9 feet 9 inches, 12 feet on the long ones, on the long end, and then the other stack is also cut and ready to go, so I can finish all these up pretty much as soon as possible. But I think before I do anything else, I'm gonna worry about squaring these things up a bit. Before I put, matter of fact, I won't. Yeah, I won't put those middle pieces in yet. I'll go ahead and I'll get everything built and square everything up first. And once everything's squared up and tacked off, then I'll go ahead and I'll cut the blockers in the block boards in the middle. And the only thing that those are for, the only reason you're putting these in between here, from everything that I've read, is to stop these boards here from twisting. So it just adds rigidity to the entire thing. No, it's not pretty. I can do much better. And I will on that one. Oh. Goodness gracious. One of the things I've gotten much better at is cleaning up every day when I'm done. We had rain in the forecast for today, but I did not expect it to come in last night, and I'm glad I got everything wrapped up and cleaned up because I woke up at one point during the night, and I slept good, by the way. I slept 8 hours straight. I don't hardly ever do that anymore. But I woke up in the middle of the night just because of the rain on the roof, and I thought to myself, when I opened my eyes and heard the rain, I thought, man, good thing everything's put away. So like I said, rain's in the forecast for today, and I'm kind of debating what to do, which means I'm probably going to start working on stuff here. I thought about taking a day off. I really haven't done any fishing at all this year. The fishing trip that I had planned with the viewers, we had some motor issues on the boat, and again, I just didn't get a chance to go out. But it's not really that big of a deal to me. I don't live to fish anymore like I used to. And this is a much bigger priority to me. I just missed the idea of hanging out with people for the day, doing that. So, I guess I'm going to clean some stuff up around here. I'm going to take some measurements on the square on the two sections that I have done.
see how far out of square I am and what I can do about getting them in square. And then I want to see the difference between squaring the one up with blocks and the one up without blocks. See if it gets any more difficult. I was talking to a buddy of mine last night, Sean over at North Shore Preparedness, and he suggested that I actually get them all squared up before I put the blocks in. But since I have one done, we'll see what the difference is. But he's been in the trades for quite a few years, so I take his advice to heart. I don't know about nailing boards together when they're wet. I mean, it rained. It wasn't a soaking rain. But we'll see. I have, like I said, rain in the forecast today, and then tomorrow it's supposed to drop off, the chance of rain. And then Monday we got rain again, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday look to be dry. And that seems to be a battle this summer. It was either way too hot at the beginning of the summer, and I know for most of you folks it's probably, 80 degrees Fahrenheit is not considered hot, but for me it's scorching. Or it's been raining. I would love to have that happy medium of about 65, 70 degrees in dry weather. But let's get this started and see what we can get done. So I got a bow in this, and I think you can see it from the camera. If not, I'm going to pop the cell phone up. And my problem is I can't reach over here with the extension cord, even if I wanted to fire the generator up, which I really don't want to because it's so peaceful this morning. So out comes the trusty rusted handsaw that I get so much grief for. So I'm going to cut this thing. Let's cut it where there's not going to be a knot. And get this out of here, and then I'll have to measure another one. Because that will help square this up without that bow in the middle. This bow is closing the saw gap back up. At this point we might have to use the persuader. Well, let me go grab it real quick. The persuader. There you go. Much nicer. And if I knew what I was doing, I would have pulled this out sooner. Framing square. Well, look at that. Thing's just about squared up. Amazing. Holy smokes. What a difference that makes. I'm going to get my hammer, knock this one out of here completely, get these nails out, and move on to the next step. I'm not going to worry about squaring the rest of these off right now because I want to get the other two built and get them all in place. And then I'll tack them together and adjust them accordingly. I think that will work. If I fail, you'll see it. So, but yeah, what a difference that made. Bugger. I think I'm going to do something different here. Let me crown these ones. Then I'm going to spin this into place where it's going to be, because then I can rest my cross pieces right on top of the center beam. Because I'm not using the extra 12 footers underneath here. I'm not going to be able to on the next one anyway. I won't have any extra 12 footers. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. That went pretty awesome. So like I said, those lines, right? Row of nails, row of nails, row of nails. Just keeps it easier for me to get where I need to be. Obviously, you know, you saw what the blocking looked like. I need help still. I still need work. But yeah, this one is nailed off and done, and now I want to do the last one. And I want to see exactly what the floor of the cabin is going to look like. That's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm probably going to take a bit of a break here, answer some more comments on the YouTube video that I released Friday, the 29th. And it's like this close to getting 1,000 views in the first 24 hours, and I've never had a video do that. So pretty exciting. Got the cart in front of the horse with that one. Well, and that's going to be about the end of today's episode, I think. Yeah. I did swing by the orange store and picked up a chuck line because I didn't have one. And while I was in there, I looked and they had 2x6s. They got like 800 and something of them. So Monday, I'll swing by there and pay for the 2x6s for the framing and get them delivered here to the property because that's coming up. That's getting here real close, real quick. Got one section left to finish. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I think I'm done for the day. Ward, do you think we're done for the day?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently I do have good drainage because that's where all the water went. It has been pouring here for the last 20 minutes. I'm going to get out of the rain. Oh. It looks like the water drain's good. It's kind of... I thought I had it sloped right, but I still hadn't seen it in action where we got enough rain to make a difference. It poured. And there is like about 0 standing water left. I like it. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Water in there. Not good. Not good. I got to keep those OSB sheets dry or relatively dry, or they'll swell up. That's on me. I thought I had that. I thought that plastic wrap had it pretty much covered. All it's got to do is last another week or so. Not even a week. This week. Morning, ladies. It's supposed to be nice today. We got rain coming in again tonight. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, which is fine because I have stuff I have to do on Monday anyway. And then it looks like the rest of the week is kind of on the dry side, which is good. I'd like to get these squared up, secured. So squared up, the last one done, squared up, secured, and then start putting tongue and groove on. Start getting the sheetrock, the OSB decking on. I got to swing by Home Depot tomorrow after work because they do have the 2x6s I need, and place my order for that. And I might place my order for sheathing as well, only because the price looks pretty reasonable. 25 bucks a sheet, which is still kind of high, but kind of nervous it'll go the other direction, and I don't want that to happen. I figure I need about 35 sheets. That stuff is also 4 foot by 8 foot. I figure I need about 35 sheets to cover the whole place in, not counting the roof. And that's going to run me, every 10 sheets is 250 bucks roughly. So there's 750, 875 for the sheeting. And I haven't really talked much about cost. I think I'll do a little bit more on that in the next video, of how much I've spent so far. But suffice it to say, I think I'm right at about $3,000 total money spent, which is just stupendous. I mean, it's awesome. And I'm talking about materials because obviously I've spent some money on some other stuff too. But the other stuff I will use again and again and again. But yeah, right around $3,000 right now. It's going to cost me $1,500 for the framing materials. So I got about another $2,500 worth of expenditures before I start worrying about the roof. Basically, tomorrow is the 1st of August, so I have all of August and September before I have to really worry about snow, unless we get a freak early snowstorm this year. So I still have 2 months to get this place dried in, for those folks that are wondering if I want to make it or not. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't ever want to spend another winter in that trailer again, but I'm going to be honest with you that this is a cash project, and if unforeseen circumstances make it so that I have to do another one in there, then I can. I just don't want to. I really don't want to. I mean, after I get everything framed up, I have insulation that I have to do. I have vapor barrier that I have to do. So insulating the floor, insulating the walls, insulating the ceiling. Vapor barrier around everything, basically except for the floor. I don't really vapor barrier the floor. And then metal for the roof. I don't know what that's going to cost me. I have no idea. And at that point, it's dried in, and I can do whatever I need to do inside. I can keep it warm. I can heat it up and keep it warm. So I don't know if we're going to make it or not, but it sure is fun. I'm sure having a great time. I'm loving every minute of it. All right, I'm gonna go get my clothes together and run to town, get my laundry done. I found that going back on Sunday mornings is much easier until the tourists are gone, and as soon as they're gone, I'll start doing it in the afternoon again. But I would like to get the laundry done, run a couple of errands there, then come back and edit video for you guys. All right, let's do it.